Yeah, you got to get the nuts out of your teeth.
What? Who said that? Did somebody say? Yeah.
Excuse me, get some floss.
I'm snacking because we're drinking and snacking.
Drinking and noshing.
Yeah, like we're at a bar and they're like, "Hey, you want some nuts?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
Hot nuts.
Some nuts with my Chardonnay. I'll take it.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 14 of Meet Us for a Drink. We're live every Wednesday night at 5:30. We're live streaming on 5 sites. You can watch us all over Facebook. Facebook Live on Meet Us for a Drink page, on the EKP Creations Campbell Co. Facebook page, on Long Beach Calif with a K page, and my personal profile, on Keri's personal profile. And also, please sign up for notifications so that you know when we're going live. Like us, follow us. We're also on YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube. So that way, if you got to leave the house, just, you could watch while you drive, right? I don't know. No, probably not.
No, that's not a thing. Okay. Not yet.
Right.
Not yet.
And just a reminder, you can comment while you're watching, and we'll do our best to answer your questions and bring your comments on the screen. And tonight we're going to be joined by Lisa Ramelow. You all know her. You'll love her. The lady with the little red Fiat. The lady in heels and dresses. The star of the Belmont Shore Christmas Parade. I could go on and on. She has the best Facebook posts, by the way.
So true.
She's the owner and operator of Strada Italian Restaurant in Belmont Shore. My name is Heather Kern. I'm the general manager, aka Dream Facilitator at Made by Millworks and Eleanor Drinkery in beautiful downtown Long Beach. And here's Keri Palustre, aka the Candle Lady, the OG Candle Lady, owner and candle maker, owner, operator, candle maker, every single job at EKP Creations Candle Co. Hey, Keri.
Hey, Heather. How's it going? Good to see you.
Going.
You look so cute. I love all the colors. Yeah, totally. Great earrings.
I have stripes.
Yeah, you got stripes
and checkers. I'm mixing it up.
All kinds of patterns. I'm digging it. It's awesome. Yeah.
You know who loves red just as much, if not more than me?
I wonder, is it maybe our guest this evening, Miss Lisa? Yes, I am excited to see how much red she's going to be sporting tonight.
I mean, no pressure, but Lisa, if you're not all wearing red, you still have time to change.
You have time to change, yes. And touch up your lipstick, which she never needs to do. She's just got perpetual great lipstick, I think.
Oh, yeah. Sure. And high heels. I don't know. I can't walk in high heels.
I don't know how she does it. I literally just ordered another pair of Birkenstocks because I'm that flat. I know. Seriously. I'm fine with that though. Yeah. Whatever.
That's all Mike wears now. He says because he loves his feet.
I hear you, Mike. I'm totally on board with that. I'm
one of those people that would prefer to be barefoot, on the street, outside. I know it's people freak out. They gross out at that. But something to me, it feels good to walk, not when you step on something.
That feels horrible. Yeah. I like to be barefoot. I have hardwood floors in my house, and I work at home as a candle maker, making candles all day, and walking around on hardwood floors and then tile floors in the kitchen in bare feet takes a toll on my lower back because I'm in my 40s. And so having some better shoes has become a necessity, and high heels are just not an option for me. And so God bless Lisa for rocking the high heels so that we maybe don't have to.
Yeah. I mean, look, do you, boo, right?
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
I think I've really, out of necessity for my feet and for my wallet, I find shopping at Skechers.
Yes.
The only thing is they are cheap and they don't last long.
Agreed.
But at the price they are, I can replace them here and there.
Right. It's so true. Gosh, look at all the people that we've got joining us tonight. Hey, everybody.
I know.
We've got a whole bunch of hellos. And CJ, I know. I'll wait. CJ said 40s. Wait till the 50s hit. Well, I'm going to be my feet will be very well prepared for when I'm gliding into my 50s. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. It's so fun. Can you believe we're at 14 of these? 14.
It's awesome. Jinx.
I love it. Every week we get to drink together and with other friends.
And next week we're going to have another Lisa McHenry, and she owns Knock Knock Toys in Seal Beach, and she's a good friend of mine. And so I think it's going to be interesting. She running a store during COVID, and Keri, she's in the Orange County.
My God, the OC.
I mean,
I can't wait to hear her story.
Let's see if she can spill some tea.
I
don't want her to, but I do.
No,
I
don't. I do.
I
don't.
want to hear, and
maybe after a couple of drinks, we'll get her to spill the tea.
I mean, it's a whole different world if you go over to Seal Beach. It's also just normally on a normal day, it's a whole different world. It's like the cutest fucking little town.
It's so true. Oh
with
my God.
That cute, tiny little main street.
It's so cute. With their little art, their little art theater that's right there. That thing's been closed for so long, but I've seen shows there. I couldn't tell you. No, the last thing I saw there was a Monty Python movie. God, that was a long time ago. It was on a date with someone, not my husband.
Sounds like a good date.
It was a great date. This was before I met my husband, and it was a lot of fun. It was Monty Python, and I miss that little theater. Hopefully, they're going to open it up at some point. I mean, I don't know. Now, COVID's ruining everything, right? Am I right, people?
Yeah. Speaking of like funny satire movies, I became aware today that it was the 40th anniversary of Airplane, the movie.
I saw that.
And so I posted and I asked everyone to like share their favorite line or quote, because they are stuck in here. And there are some things that just like you say it and boom, I'm having an inner dialogue. So how do you like your coffee? Black like your men. It's just like,
I picked the wrong week to stop
in there.
Yeah.
That one doesn't, I forget that one.
I love
yeah. Yeah, I love the guy that works in the airport. Works in the tower.
He's the best.
He's like, and Leon's getting larger. And they're like, boy, the shit's really gonna hit the fan. And then they show shit hitting a fan.
Yes,
it's
a film.
It's a really great comedy,
and it's a film that you really couldn't make now. It's kind of like Blazing Saddles. When the white woman comes in and she's like, "It's okay, I speak jive." Could we do that today? I'm going to say no. It's very much like Blazing Saddles. Like it's risky and awesome. And I know a lot of lines to Blazing Saddles too. So,
I have never seen Blazing Saddles.
How dare you? You call yourself an American. Get out of here.
But History of the World. The quotes that are stuck in my head from that. I love Mel Brooks. I don't know why. I think it's because I had an aversion to Westerns and I was like, it's a fucking Western. I'm not watching it.
But it's so great. Oh my God. I demand.
I know. Okay.
I demand that you watch it now.
I have the time.
Yes.
I can watch it.
Exactly.
I'm running out of like actual TV.
I'm going to quiz you next week on Blazing Saddles. Lord, you had enough beans. Yeah.
I'm familiar with some of the skits.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing.
I'm not even going to say it. Go ahead.
That makes me another questions maybe my, I don't know.
Patriotism. I'm totally kidding.
I've never seen Forrest Gump.
I'm out. Bye. Bye, everybody. It's been a great 14 episodes. See you. I can't do this anymore.
You know how some things get so popular and you're like, I'm not watching it.
No, I don't.
I've seen parts of it. Like I come across it and I'm like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Forrest Gump is, oh my God, CJ. Yes. Badges. We don't need those stinking badges. Ooh, I love that one. Anyway, that was from Blazing Saddles, which you don't know, and that's fine. But Forrest Gump is something that I've seen 100 times. Every time it comes, if it comes on TV, I will fully. I will watch Forrest Gump. Yeah, sorry, switching back. If it comes on TV, I will watch it, all 17 hours of it, because it's super long when it's on TV. It's like it takes forever to see it when it's on TV. But yeah, Jenny, you know, you got
Jenny, Who can I turn to? That's all. I don't know.
Okay, well, clearly we have some films to watch.
Allison says, "Oh my God, we can't be friends."
Same. Yeah, that's what I said, Allison. We are done. We're done.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim. Thanks for joining us. We're realizing how much Heather.
Okay, well, what big movies have you not seen?
Oh gosh. What was that movie that came out?
Star Wars?
Girl, please. Bitch, please, come on. I mean, I was born in the 70s. Like, you've met my husband. He like might as well have Star Wars tattooed across him. I don't even need the movie. We have the movie on DVD, Blu-ray, VHS. Like, yeah, I've seen Star Wars. I don't know, big blockbuster films that I haven't seen. That's going to be hard. I'm not really like a horror person. I'm not a horror or horror person. Which I think we've talked about before. So, yeah. And I'm not even like a psychological thriller kind of a person. So that movie that came out in the 90s where the camera was like up the girl's nose and she was freaking out and crying and they were in the forest, whatever the fuck that was. I never saw that one. So.
CJ says Schindler's List. Yeah, I just couldn't do it either. So
I pushed through that one. So that was hard, but yeah.
Let's do our movies on the beach. We should do movies on the beach. Someone said, 2 people have now said Blair Witch, but here's the thing about Blair Witch. Yeah. I will tell you is they also created a fake documentary that aired on TV. I want to say it was on Bravo, but I don't know because it's so long ago. Like, I don't know what channel it was on. But it was a documentary about the found videotape that is the storyline for the movie. But in the fake documentary, they really build this case. Like they interview people about the witch and all this. So, I mean, I was like, wow, this is going to be awesome. And then I kind of got clued in before I went to the movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But still, it was pretty good.
I'm kind of surprised that I haven't seen it just because I like
it's
the study.
That scary. I
know. I'm sure.
It is and isn't. It is and isn't. I mean, it is.
I like film making. And so I'm kind of surprised that I didn't see it just because I like the idea of new ways of making movies, you know? So yeah, now I'm going to have to freaking go watch it. Thanks, Heather. Cool. Oh, well, that's okay.
1, 2, Freddie's coming for you. Now, I will say, speaking of like how there's like things from movies like ingrained, like Caddyshack one-liners, Airplane, all the comedies.
Yes.
I also I dare anyone that's watching
to
admit that they'd ever gone camping and someone has not done the Jason sound.
Which one's the... Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happened. And I punched those people square in the fucking face.
Yeah, I mean, because basically those Friday 13th movies like ruined being in the woods forever for me. I'm like, the boogeyman is there.
Okay, well, there you go. See, that's what I haven't seen. Friday the 13th.
Oh, well, that's why you didn't know the sound.
I know. But I'm familiar with Jason and like Michael Myers from Halloween. Like I know all the things. I know all the references. I just haven't seen the films. I literally only watched The Shining for the first time like last year maybe. And I really didn't like it.
What?
I know.
That's weird. Why do you think you didn't like it? I mean, like, I've never, like, how is a hallway so fucking scary? And I don't think I ever want to be on a lonely, desolate, like, hotel hallway ever in my life. And that scene where, like, towards the end, he opens a door and there's, like, just 2 people and one of them's got, like, a animal mascot kind of costume on. You're like, okay, what is going on?
Right. I don't know. I mean,
Johnny.
I can come up with a million reasons, but it doesn't even matter. Like Bob Kelly's like, where's Lisa? He's like, hey ladies, can you shut up about films?
Lisa's going to be here at 5:50. She's joining us in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
And then she'll stay on till the end or close to the end. So we'll end around 6:30.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go long. We have no real rules.
Red. We really don't have rules. We've definitely gone longer. But we try. We respect everyone's time. So
look, there's Lisa.
There's Lisa.
Minutes. Okay, speaking of frightening things.
Yeah.
What's up with Kanye?
Oh, Kanye. So I'm going to preface this conversation by saying that I do believe that he is in mental distress. And I do believe that he's admittedly suffers from bipolar disorder. And I believe that he's in the midst of it, in the throes of it. Also, bro, stop. People who like handle him, stop putting him in front of the camera. Take his phone. Keep him off of Twitter. You know, like he's got a wife and he's got children. I've never been a huge fan. I've never been a fan of Kanye. I don't care what he does. I'm not a fan, but gosh, you know, he's just making a mess.
Yeah. I did read Kim's Insta. Not that I follow her, but I saw another page share it, and she was like 3 pages explaining that he has bipolar. And by the way, this is new information to me. I didn't even know that he was bipolar. Yeah. I mean, I just know every time he does one of these things, I'm like, that doesn't seem like someone who's having their best mental health day. Mm-hmm. And it is really complicated because you know, I mean, people, from what I heard, not my own experience, people that suffer from bipolar do not like being medicated.
Right.
But then the people around them don't want to be around them when they're not medicated because it's a lot. We're not used to chaos. We don't want, most of us don't want chaos, don't thrive on chaos.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like their own genetic physiology that prefers that feeling. And I get it.
It's just, you know, it's so much manic. It's so like, it's just this huge roller coaster. And I don't know. Yeah, it's so much. And I just feel I feel bad. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I feel bad for Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
You know?
It makes me sad, Susan. Yeah, it makes me sad.
Exactly. That's the bottom line, is that it makes me sad. Yeah.
The only thing I can see out of it is that apparently everybody is feeling that way. I'm not seeing a lot of like defending. I'm seeing everyone is feeling sympathetic and is feeling concerned.
Right.
And
thank goodness.
I mean, he's got enough support, both financially and people around him.
Right.
Hopefully, you know, he gets through this. And
we've seen it happen so many times. We watched, you know, Britney Spears go through this. Like we've seen so many celebs, you know, who suffer from mental health issues, have these like super crazy, gnarly breakdowns. And yeah, I mean, Susan said nobody wants to get off the gravy train, right? They have handlers. They're surrounded by people who are yes men, and, you know, they're getting paid. And, you know, the more that the celebrities are in front of the camera, the more people are watching. And it's just, you know, it's sad. I'll swing this around and say like, it's very similar to watching a car chase on television, which.
Oh my God, that car chase. I didn't see any of it, but I saw a bunch of you posting about it and you're like, well, nightly news wins. And I was all, well, Keri, I don't know if you know this, but every car chase is on Facebook and you don't need to have your TV. You just zip on over to whatever news agency you can find.
Right.
Totally. And I tagged you. I'm all, lady, look, it's right here.
You sent me a link immediately, and totally, Allison sent me a link also.
All right, Jeff's asking, hey, Lisa, are you going to be on? So we better bring Lisa on. So let's bring Lisa on. Are you ready, Lisa? Here you come.
I'm ready.
Lisa.
Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, you guys. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I thought I was all logged in, but I forgot to hit the last button. I'm kind of challenged in this way.
I think you're doing just fine. You're doing just fine.
You're here. You did it. Yay.
Yay.
Welcome to Meet Us for a Drink. Thanks for meeting us for a drink.
Thank you.
You've got yourself a little beverage over there.
Actually, sugar cookie iced tea. I know that's disgusting.
Sugar cookie iced tea. That's fancy.
That's super fancy. I love it. Right on.
They put it out at Christmas time at Smart and Final.
Christmas in July.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Christmas in July. Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, I don't even want to think about Christmas this year.
I saw a post that it was like 20 something weeks, 20 something Fridays until Christmas. I was like, what? No, I got to get through summer.
I have two friends who start salivating about Christmas music in July. And every year I always tease them and they tease me. I'm like, you guys are way too soon.
Gosh, right? Yeah, that's too soon for sure.
I love it. I could probably do it year round. But I mean, you do eventually at some point go like, all right, I'm ready for the beach and the summer and time to come down. And today I was thinking about how it hasn't gotten hot yet and how our summers really don't seem to start till September anymore.
Don't jinx us, Heather, because a heat wave is on the horizon. I'm sure. I can't confirm, but I'm guessing just because you mentioned it, it's going to be a sweltering 96 before we know it. So, and none of our homes have air conditioning. So bite your tongue, young lady. Bite your tongue.
So Lisa, tell us about La Strada. I don't know all the history. I don't know exactly how long you've been there, how it came to be. Give us a little background.
Okay. It came to be because my father decided to do it as a business venture. He had been an engineer and he was doing his own businesses, and he had a partner who owned another restaurant on 2nd Street. So the partner was setting him up to steal from him, but my dad didn't know that at the time. So once the restaurant was open, because my dad being an engineer, he just wanted to buy a place to hang out. And the guy was stealing labor by having people punch in at our place and then work at his, having all the products delivered at our restaurant and then taking it to his other one. So it was a quiet kind of theft that was going on. So my dad called me and said, I made a really big mistake and I had quit my job because I was a full-time mother. And he asked if I would help him. And it was it's interesting experience. I mean, I'd never in my whole life said, I want to own a business. I never wanted to own a restaurant. I had no interest. I'm not a chef or any of those things. And it went to court, actually. So there was a 7-month period where I had to be there representing my father. He threw both the partners out, and the partner's wife was there, and we had to coexist and sort of run it. And it went to my dad, and my dad said, I don't want to do it. Do you want to run it? And I thought, well, I don't know. I thought, well, I'll try it, but I've never done anything like this before. And back then, it was 27 years ago, there was no internet. There wasn't, there was no way to really learn. I just started going around asking people questions. I'd go to different restaurants and ask owners. I'd go to bookstores. I used to hang out at Barnes & Noble all the time and buy management books and go to restaurant seminars. I don't remember now how I found out about them because there wasn't the internet, but somehow I did. And I just sort of learned. And I learned from a lot of employees because a lot of people in the restaurant world, that's their life. And they taught me a lot of things. They taught me what to look out for and how important consistency was. So I bought my dad out years ago, and I was there since 2 months into it, so it's always, he used to say, this is the biggest mistake I ever made. And it really helped me grow so many ways. So when he was sick later and everything, I told him, your biggest mistake was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh,
and
wow.
That gave him a lot of peace, because I was at a bad place in my life right then. So even though he needed me to help him, I think he knew it was a good thing to give me that kind of responsibility. I needed it, so.
And you were also, you were raising kids at the same time, right? That you were running the business?
Yes.
So you were pulling double duty, wearing all the hats, like amazingly strong women tend to do, right?
Well, and also on a personal note, my husband had died 2 years before.
Oh,
and
wow.
I wasn't doing well with that. And I loved being a mother, but I lost sight of being a woman. Mm-hmm. I hadn't worn a dress in like a year or two, so this brought me into using my brain again, not putting motherhood down. I quit my job to be a full-time mother and I loved it, but I needed something more than that, beyond that after a while to give me more focus just on myself and my situation. So it was a huge blessing in so many ways. I just can't even tell you. So.
And what year was it that you took over?
93 he opened, and I was there January 4th, 94, and I was wearing an olive green dress. Isn't it funny how we can remember what we were wearing?
Yes, absolutely. That's great.
I don't know why. I just, and you know what night stands out to me so much? It was 94 in June. It was a Friday night. There wasn't one customer. Now you have to remember there were no cell phones, so nobody knew what was going on in the world. Where were all the people? And then they all came in at 9:30 at night. That was the night that OJ was running away in the Bronco.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
We didn't have all the phones. There was no Twitter. There was nothing, So I've been there through a lot of strange occurrences and different things in the world, So I adopted this flip-flop life, and it kind of worked for me. Like I could be there to get my kids off to school. Then I'd go handle the lunch rush. Then when that was all done, I'd pick my kids up. We'd go home and do homework. I'd make dinner. I'd leave for a couple hours, run back to work for dinner, come back, put them to bed. So it kind of worked. Sometimes there were some hiccups. It wasn't a good thing. I think I should have been around a little bit more during the teenage years. But it worked out for me overall.
That's so great. Oh, that's awesome. And it's Belmont Shore, right? So you've been on 2nd Street the entire time, right? In Belmont Shore. So you've seen so much change down on 2nd Street, I'm sure, right? Like the evolution and gosh, so much change on 2nd Street, right?
Yes. And I grew up on Covina and Division, 134 Covina. So, when I moved there when I was 10, so there was Howie's Market and
Egyptian Pharmacy.
Yeah, Egyptian Pharmacy, Quigley's was at Granada, so I've always seen it change. And sometimes
Northwoods and Grandma's Sugar Plum.
All everything.
All of those.
There was even a Baskin Robbins and Winchell's Donuts. And I used to come home on my bike from Rogers and think, do I want a donut, an ice cream cone, fries, or do I want to go to Howie's? And, it was like, that was my biggest decision,
Those are some great options to have, actually.
So a lot of times when, it really helped to join the BSBA, the Belmont Shore Business Association, and to be a parking commission for 4 years, commissioner. I learned so much about things, and it gave me a lot of patience and kind of relaxing whenever anything changed a lot, because it always got better. It maybe one end of the street is more popular one year and another end is more popular the other year. But I learned so much. Like I would see people say, we need a Jewish deli. And they'd get mad at the BSBA for not putting in a Jewish deli, but the BSBA is just a group of business owners. I'd always say to them, like, please open one. I would love to go there too,
Right.
So it's been a great learning experience. When I first went to the BSBA meeting, I went to the BSBA meeting. My kids were in elementary school, and I looked at all of them, and some people were arguing and everything. I thought, this is PTA, but they're all 10 years older, So then when I caught up, then I, started going.
And is the BSBA, are they the ones that organize the different events that we've seen down in Belmont Shore? And can you talk a little bit about the different events that occur down there?
Yeah, and it's we'd be right in the middle of Stroll and Savor right now. This would be a Stroll and Savor week, which has always been a big event. I don't know if it's on its 17th year, 18th year. And who would ever think of an event that could go 2 days in a row in the middle of the week, that it would work so well? But it worked so well. And over the years, I would always tell people, new businesses, be sure you get involved in that, because I was involved from the beginning, and you cannot believe people have a set thing in their mind about your business. Like I would hear people say, I didn't know you had pizza. Or I hear people say, I thought you only had pizza, and that just getting your product into somebody's hands, even if you didn't make any money on that night, they come back and they learn, and it just pays off to be a good community member. People like that. They want to know that you're involved, that you care. And so, I always thought it was great fun, and then now things are slowly, I don't even want to whisper it out loud since you mentioned Christmas, but it could be a parade, so yeah. When they canceled the Rose Parade, I thought, okay. So there's all those events that they put on that have been great.
Well, now Rob posted, and I know we want to talk about this a little. He says, please don't go. So
what the heck does that mean, Lisa? What's going on?
I wish you could have this picture handy, but it was in October. It was Halloween, and I was dressed as Cinderella, and my sister was dressed as Elton John, but she let me borrow her giant Elton John Dodger sunglasses. So it was pretty comical that I had this bun in my hair and these glasses on. And I have a pondering picture kind of like this. But I just had been pondering for a while. Some things had gotten a little more difficult for me, feeling my age a little bit in certain ways. And I just thought, I think I'm not going to renew this last year. I just think I'm done. It's so, owning a restaurant is like having 15 kids and a huge house, because something's always breaking. The kids don't always do their homework, meaning their side work. Sometimes there's sibling rivalry, like you like her better than me. It's just like being a mother of so many people. And I've loved it, and I've loved being able to be a mentor in that way. Like the funny stories I have of kids who just don't know things, that's so funny, but they just don't know. But I told Heather this the other day. My teenagers that were 29 and 32, so I'm just giving, But Heather, remember you mentioned the picture I put of the kid who did the dressing on the side on his salad?
I mean, it was the best thing ever. I love that story.
The best, but guess what happened last night? And I haven't written about it because I never want to hurt a kid's feelings. But I look in the trash and there's a towel. And all restaurants, bars, they use these, they're called bar mops, and they're a small white towel. And it was dirty. He threw it in the trash. And I said, "Who threw the towel in the trash?" He said, "Well, it's dirty." And I looked at him, I got it out of the trash. And I didn't want to make him uncomfortable. I go, I'm not mad. But like when you're home and you take a shower and you dry yourself off, do you throw the towel in the trash? He didn't know where the laundry was, and I showed him and everything. I just thought it was hard for me not to know why he would think you just throw it away. It's not a paper towel. But these kind of things happen all the time. And then I had one server one time. He was getting really impatient a little bit with the newer kids. And I looked at him and I said, "You were exactly like those kids. You're the senior kid. You need to teach them how to do their taxes. You need to show them that they I can't believe how many guys this year run their hands through their hair. I thought it was just a girl thing. All these young guys,
yeah.
tell them, stop touching your hair."
I happen to know this is true because I've been getting takeout, but Susan wants to know, are you open for takeout?
Yes, we did a pretty good takeout and delivery business once that was March 18th. I just know it because it was right after St. Patrick's Day. And so we just are open 4 to 8, but it's worked out pretty well. And people were so loyal to me. It was really sweet. And I always never wanted to use Facebook. Always never. That doesn't sound good, but I never wanted to use Facebook as a sales platform or be salesy. I just never do that. But I did during that time period and would say, "We're open now. Here's our phone number." And people were wonderful. I had one lady on 38th by Ocean, and she would leave $100 tip for $23 pizza, and she said I went to high school with her. And it was just the nicest thing. The community really came out to support us and to support my staff. It really meant a lot to me.
I think it speaks volumes to the fact that, obviously you were talking earlier about the importance of being involved in the community and making sure that you're part of the Belmont Shore Association. And right. And that's the thing. You do so much for the community. It's clearly recognized. And the way that you handle yourself and the way that you handle your business is, it's instrumental in setting an example for other business owners and just for other human beings. So thanks for doing that. And obviously, I'm not the only one who's recognizing it, because tons of people are commenting on here, on our show page, that your food's amazing, but you also are an amazing person. And
yes.
And I think that's important to recognize, like it's, you talk about, how important the community is. And when you give, then you get, right?
Yes. And, I had a hard time with talking about that at first. I hired a restaurant consultant once, and I said, "Well, I don't want to talk about what I'm doing because it looks like I'm bragging." And he just looked at me like, "Lisa, please."
Please brag.
So even though I would feed Ronald McDonald House once a month, I only talked about it maybe once every 3 months. I didn't want to do it too much, and then I was wincing one time. I was feeding 80 football players at Wilson. I do that every August. It's not going to happen this year, but I take the 4 huge pans of food. And so I took a picture of that and posted it. And people love when you do local things too. So it's a line that you figure out how to do, and you kind of learn that it actually is not a bad thing to talk about. Hey, I do some good things around here, because people do want to help support you then. So
it inspires other people to get involved too. And so some people who are maybe hesitant or think, "Oh, it's not for me," if they see other people, I mean, that's one of the biggest arguments, to tell people why you're doing things, especially philanthropy, because it does help people want to do it too.
Right.
Susan wants to know, and I want to know, and I know you've mentioned it before, but who is in the photo that's on your branding?
Oh, that's my mother. Thank you. Thank you for asking about that. That's so special to me. The restaurant consultant told me, you need to personalize this place. And I said, what do you mean? Because there were these prints on the wall. They were just some art things. And he said, put family photos or something. And I said, well, why would anyone want to know about my family? Because when I go out to eat, I don't care who owns it or who the manager is or anything. I just want the food to be the way I like it,
Right.
And he said, you are in less than 5% of the population. Everybody wants to know about who the owner is, whatever. And I didn't believe him. And then I slowly learned how right he was. And I started thinking, what can I do to make my menu look more Italian? So I found that I'd always loved that picture of my mother, and it actually is not Italian. My mom's Czechoslovakian, so she's not Italian.
My ancestors are Slovak and Czechoslovakian as well. That's so awesome.
So that picture was taken in Philadelphia. That's where my mom was born and raised, but it looked very European because it's near this structure that looks kind of like the Champs-Élysées, however you say that thing in Paris. And so it was beautiful, I thought, and I enlarged it and put it up. And my mother, who was one of my biggest fans, such a cheerleader to me, she saw that picture. She was like 5 feet tall. And she said, honey, and she started crying, you made me into a movie star. And she wanted to be a movie star her whole life, but she was 5'1", and she was always tap dancing and everything. So that was really special. I'm really happy I did that. And then I put other family photos up, and I was surprised people like to know. There sometimes, some people I learned early on, they don't want you to interrupt them. Mostly if it's two ladies together, don't interrupt them. They're catching up. They're doing girl talk, But sometimes married couples, they're with each other all the time. They love knowing about who's that and who's in that and why is that, and that made it more interesting to bring a little history. And so on the back of all my menus too is a different photo from something yesteryear. So
that's really cool. Yeah, I know I would love it, and I would probably be whenever a menu has like a big story, I'm always reading that, like the whole history or the about, because it's fascinating. People have interesting lives.
I put that in. I didn't know. And, it really, the community of the shore was so great because my mother was there 40 years. She walked up and down 2nd Street 5 times a day. She called it the Avenue. No one calls it that, but she did.
Wow.
And so as she had dementia, she slowly got not well. People were always calling me. They'd call La Strada and tell me, your mom's in front of Creperie right now. We've got her. She's in her nightgown, but she does have her purse with her, And that sounds sad, but it was very loving what the whole community did to look out for her. And they all knew she was the lady in the photo. So that was really nice.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's awesome. Very cool.
And you grew up in Long Beach, right? You said you grew up in Belmont Shore. So you're a Wilson alum?
Yes, I am. 75.
Me too.
Yeah. Don't tell me, but I just told you.
And were you in a sorority or anything like that?
No,
or did you do any cheerleading?
No, I was over in Rec Park. I was one of the bad people, I never got involved in any of the fun things. I don't know why. I just didn't. And I was pretty quiet back then. And
it's so funny. I totally just picture you being like, oh my God, I know she was like varsity L or something.
Oh my God, I was so the opposite. I was such an introvert. That was the other thing. The restaurant guy told me, you need to talk to everybody. And I said, then I'm just going to sell this place because I can't do that. I can't talk to people. And I would just want to be in the background, like PTA stuff for my kids. I just sewed the costumes. I did the wrapping paper drive. I didn't want to be in front of anybody. And I had 2 ladies. I just loved them, but they moved to Laguna, Connie and Lori. They came in every Friday night, and they knew how afraid I was to go up to somebody. I didn't know what to say. And they would tell me, get away from us, go away, go talk to somebody else. And they knew I had a little check thing going in the back, and then 5 people I'd talk to. I mean, really, it was super hard for me, and took wine every time. I couldn't do it. And then I learned, and my mother was naturally like this. I was her little girl out of 3 girls that never talked and was really quiet, and she never stopped talking. So it's a learned skill for me. So I'm actually complimented when someone says they think this is my natural side, because it was something, and I'm very comfortable with it now, but it was hard for me for a long time.
Wow.
Wow.
You've perfected the skill.
Oh, good. Thank you. And it's pretty necessary in this industry.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's what I love as a customer. I love the places I go, and I love seeing the same wait staff every time and talking to them, the familiarity, even going to the grocery store. I love that familiarity. Or I went into Broadway Donuts, and the lady working there was like, "Where have you been? I haven't seen you in a long time." And I was like, "Well, sugar, I'm sorry." But it was nice, So I think it's really important, especially to like a family kind of, I mean, to me, Italian is like a family kind of food setting.
Yes.
It's true. And I've had staff over the years that are stuck with me forever, and they have your order so memorized. Like, you barely sit down and everything you want is already there. You don't even have to tell them, And I've had some really, really great kids over the years. It's awesome. Some of my kids, though, are like 45, 50 now. They grew up and all had all their kids. So.
And so how much time do you have left that you're going to be open?
Good question. A lot of things are happening behind the scenes, but I'm guessing about one more month. I'm going to make it a lot more verbal. I mean, a lot more out there what I'm doing. I just have had to wait to make sure some things are in place before I do that. I do know, I don't think in-house dining is going to come back. I mean, today is 3 weeks from when they said it would, but then, things got worse again and they closed other things down. So my plan is just to stand out on the curb in a beautiful red dress and wave and honk at me on my last night. And then today I thought, well, why don't I make that like the last 3 nights or the last 4 nights? I can come up with 4 good dresses and stand out. I can look at my new shoes. I can put these on.
Oh my God!
Look at those! Oh my God, that is impressive.
And out there, I don't want to. We only have 2 little tables. I found a way to add a third. We moved this red bench out of the way. But I don't want to just fade away into the darkness without any kind of going away. I had a lot of going away plans, but that's okay. I'm fine. But I want to do something, I'll think about it.
Yeah. We definitely want to make sure that all of us that love you, everyone that's watching, that's saying that they love you. Susan's asking for a farewell celebration. Cheryl's saying she can't stay to continue watching the shows, but please thank you for everything you've done in Long Beach, and thank you for your calls. And we definitely want to make sure that we get a chance to visit you.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Yeah. I know sometimes with only the 3 tables, and I tell everybody, usually I don't make reservations. I do have one couple, probably the whole world knows them, but Mary Alice and Bob Raleigh, he's 92, and they're like the benefactors of Memorial Hospital. So if they call and say, we'll be there in 15 minutes, I'm okay, but get here right when you say, because people are waiting, but they've been so dedicated to us. But, it's just the way it is. I'm pretty accepting of, how things are flowing, and there's no way to change it. One of the things I had wanted to do, though, I have a lot of kids that have grown up eating in my place, and they're just waiting until they're 16. It can work for me. So I was going to do, I almost made it night. I have like 3 or 4 of them that are 14 now. And I was going to make them be the hostesses and the bussers so they get a chance to work. So we can't do that. But, it'll be memorable in some other way.
Have you ever had any celebrities come in?
Oh, yeah. We used to have this one lady used to come from Young and the Restless. And then the guy, Wee Man, I think he was called. I don't know his name, but
is it the guy that owns Chronic Tacos?
No. He's an actor, and I think he was in some famous movie. He's a little guy.
I think it's Brian Williams. No?
Okay. I'm really good with stars.
Brad Williams. And
then one time this girl came in that I didn't recognize, and I had to get a little after my 2 servers, because after she left, they went and asked her for a picture out front, and I told them, you kids can't do that. But it was like one of those shows that all the teenage girls watch. It's like Pretty Little Liars, or I don't watch those things. One of those things, some villain girl. So I didn't know who she was, but they just couldn't stop staring at her, and I had to say, you guys, you leave them alone. You can't do that. So not too many though. So.
Well, it seems like you've gotten really comfortable, not only talking to people, but also you've gotten a lot more comfortable with social media interaction. I have certainly noticed that your social media posts on Facebook are impeccable.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
So
Fabulous.
amazing. I mean, you know, you tell amazing stories, you get a lot of really good interaction, you have tons of really great pictures, and I've learned a lot about you, Lisa, and and just being friends with you on Facebook. So I wanted to ask you, I know that you're doing a lot of these like secret staircase adventures. What the heck is that?
Yes, those are about 5 years ago. A friend invited me on one of them, and I had the best time. It was a Hollywood one, and you ended up right at the Hollywood Bowl. And I'm used to the Hollywood Bowl, you know, going up in the bus and just seeing the Hollywood Bowl. But this was behind the scenes, and you're actually almost going through people's yards. And I was thought, oh, I'm going to do that one day. And then, of course, I never did it. So then with all this stuff where I had a little bit more time, I didn't have to go in as much because we were only open 4 to 8 instead of being open 11. I start getting calls, pizza oven's broken, there's a water thing, you know, whatever. So I started planning these adventures, and because there was nowhere to go. I mean, I can't go on a trip, and I pretty much have been to Orange County a million times. I thought, let me go explore Los Angeles because it's right there.
Yeah.
So this kind of became a hobby of mine. I've done it like 15 times now. And I've seen some beautiful homes, and just, I always think of LA as flat because I'm on the freeway, which is so stupid because it really isn't, you know. And this amazing, some of them are hidden, they're very interesting, and I've just really enjoyed it. And it's something that, you know, it takes a little time to get there, but I've walked all over Long Beach so much, I was just kind of sick of it, you know. And I was in a exercise boot camp for a few years, and we would meet on Signal Hills. I've done that a million times. So I wanted to do something a little different. And thanks for your comments on my Facebook posts. Years ago, I went to the Led Zeppelin reunion in London in 2007.
Wow. Wow.
I had turned 50 and I didn't want anyone to know, so don't tell anyone. But I got a ticket and I didn't know anybody, and I met everybody on an AOL chat area thing. And I had the best time. There was one other lady from Washington, D.C., and then there were guys from all over. And Facebook was just coming alive then, and she hooked us all up and put us on it, and I didn't know how to work it or anything. And at first I hired someone to do it, but they were very salesy. Like, have you seen our Panay special? It was really stupid, you know. Right. This is dumb. So I told her, I'm sorry, I don't need you. And I tried to be kind of businesslike. And then one night I just said, God, you know, look at these shoes I got. And I got like a zillion likes over talking about shoes. I thought, that's weird, you know. And I have a friend who just recently started following me maybe a couple years ago, that he's known me 20 years. And he said, 7 words. You wrote 7 words and 300 people liked it. And I was just laughing. It was 3 a.m. and I wrote, it's 3 a.m. I want potato chips. Like, that's all I wrote. He goes, what are you doing? I go, I don't know. Thanks for talking about the pictures, Keri. I learned early on, it's always good to put a photo with something, no matter what it's about.
Yeah.
And that takes a little more time. And sometimes I have to search for the photo because I'm not very organized, or think of something I can do that'll illustrate it, because it captures people's attention a little bit better.
Yeah. But you also post really long posts, not just 7 words, like at length explanations, amazing stories about catastrophes at work, and, you know, middle of the night emergencies, stair travels. I mean, just all kinds of things. And you're just such a good writer. They're really great to read. I think maybe after this, maybe you should look into doing some writing.
That's what I'm going to try and do. And I learned to make them 500 words or less, because my son said, Mom, if I have to click on keep reading and it goes to another page, I'm not reading it. So I really edit myself and make sure that when you click that, you stay there. And it's really helped me. My plan was, when the restaurant was done, to go to writing conferences. I wanted to go. There's so many of them all over. Travel to different cities. And there's a famous one in Ojai that's close by. There's one in Seattle, you know, and learn about editing and publishing and all that. But that's not going to happen, but maybe later. And I would like to do more writing. I just don't know what to do with it exactly.
Oh, we just got a request, and Keri mentioned this before. We need to ask about Governor Cuomo.
Oh,
We gotta know what the heck. We gotta know what's going on here, Lisa.
Listen, I did not join a bandwagon. I found him first, and then all these other people joined in.
Yes.
And then people will tell me, well, I hate his politics or whatever. And I'm not even looking at his politics. I was just looking at the fact that he could speak well, and then I got annoyed with him. I put up one little video because he came on at 5 p.m. and I thought, you didn't tell me, and I had just come out of the shower. I did say, by the way, I'm naked, and he missed it, But
yeah, he looks pretty good in a suit, doesn't he?
Yes, and I am a person, a girl. I don't know if you're allowed to call yourself a girl anymore, but I am a girl all about the suit. I love men in suits. So yes, I am a sucker for that.
Yes, because
when he had rings and the polo shirt, everybody was sending me privately all these enlarged photos. Have you seen this? And the cutest thing though one night was because my son lives in New York City. I said, "You're governor or something, and my son wrote, well, didn't you break up with him? Which is so cute to me that my kids play along. And my daughter wrote, Mama, when did you break up? And I thought that was so nice of them to play along with my silliness because I have been very embarrassing at times to them. So,
well, I think it's adorable. And I love that your kids played along with it. And I love that everyone is playing along with it because, Governor Cuomo,
I think we all got a crush on him, in March, April, when we were having I was calling it coffee with Cuomo because it was 9 a.m. every day. They just cut live to Cuomo.
Exactly.
And I love the realness of his relationship with his brother, Chris, and how they just rip on each other like brothers do. I think it's, lovely to see that, realness. It's great.
And Sunday sauce and all of that stuff.
I did apply, and Dana's going to help me, right? Dana Buchanan. By the way, I love those lemon lavender shortbread cookies. I am addicted to them. But Dana's going to help me. I applied for that old lady. I'm calling it the old lady bachelor, but you know what I mean. They have the senior bachelorette that they're doing with the Bachelor series.
You're gonna apply for that?
I already did. It came out before COVID stuff. So I put in an application. I don't know.
Oh my God. Yes. I need that. I want that. That has to happen.
That's awesome. That'll be great. It's like the Bachelorette, the silver edition, right?
You have to show up in your Cinderella dress.
Oh my God.
Yes. I'll wear I think that would scare any guy away if I was wearing the Cinderella dress. I did not put that on my dating profiles at all, But,
it would edit out the ones that you don't want to deal with is what it would actually do, because any man who's worth a salt would be very excited to see you in that Cinderella dress.
Well, one girl who worked for me was on The Bachelor. It was the guy, and she was one of the 25. And she was not a drinker. She wasn't at all. But she said they just plied them with drinks, didn't give them any food. They were up till 4 a.m. And she only lasted 3 episodes, but she was kind of portrayed as the drunk, which was sad because she really wasn't that way. So I think they do aim to embarrass you. So,
When will you hear back? I guess everything's on hold right now.
I think it's on hold. I don't know. They have another young lady who's, I guess she's a little older than the normal bachelorettes that they're filming now in Palm Desert. I bet they can't go anywhere. So that's on.
Yeah.
I had this friend who told me once that I should get one of those silver trailers. What are those things called? An
Airstream? Airstream? Yeah.
And they go all over and say it's the Lisa dating show. This is 10 years ago, and announce to different cities like Houston, I'm here now, and have the men line up or something like that. I don't think I can do that, Robert. Just an idea.
I think it's hilarious. It sounds fun.
The Facebook posts that would come out of that. Wow.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Yeah,
I took a big trip 2 years ago, which was really wonderful. I had a wonderful friend planned it for me. I was thought, am I posting too much? And I text my brother, probably posting too much. He said, no, not enough. I'm checking 3 times a day. Keep telling more stories. So that was encouraging, So
it's good to have that support from family that you're,
yes.
Right. You're not going overboard. You're doing just fine. So keep going. Right. Yeah. Especially when your kids sign off on it. I think that's almost the most important thing is when your kids sign off on your Facebook stuff, then you're good.
Yeah. And every now and then they'll throw this out like, Mom, don't say this to anybody, or don't, tell anyone that or something, and I don't blame them, so, and I try hard. Sometimes I miss the mark and I'll delete something later because I've hurt somebody's feelings, or, sometimes I'll regret a post, like maybe I shouldn't have talked about that, but I pretty much just try. I only really talk about the restaurant every couple of weeks. I don't really need to do that, and I have had so many people come in to meet me based on my Facebook posting,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Nice.
say like what you did, Keri. Well, you said it differently. They'll say, I know everything about you. And I'm thinking, no, you don't.
Those are some pretty great shoes. I can't wait to see you. So it sounds like we can all look forward to you being on the sidewalk out in front of La Strada for at least a few days in a row.
A few days in a row. That's what I'll do. And I'll start thinking about it.
And you'll post photos for that.
Oh, yeah. There'll be so many.
And please, we all encourage you to post more so we know, so we don't miss it. So we don't all go, oh my God, I didn't know it was happening. Because you know how it is too. People don't see something for 4 days later.
Right.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And when Papalucci's was closing, he gave a pretty good 2-week warning because we could see from across the street, and he had a line out the door for 2 weeks, which was so sweet. It was nice that everybody was saying goodbye to him like that. So, I'm going to try and get the word out a little bit better when I
Okay, good.
We'll
be in for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yay.
Well, thanks, ladies. I'm so happy you had me.
Thanks for joining us. This was great. And
this
now,
was amazing.
After this, we're going to do this off camera, and we'll be meeting for drinks off camera. And maybe we'll bring a camera at some point, but we need to get into it a little quieter, and we'll dig a little deeper.
Yes, for sure.
More secrets,
Well, Lisa, remind
I love it.
I can't imagine anyone watching doesn't know, but in case people don't know, tell them where La Strada is.
It is on 2nd Street between Park and Roycroft, and on the south side, which is the ocean side. And now we're only there from 4 to 8, but we
every day
take it. Yeah, every day. And we do take it for delivery. I've got a couple adorable 16-year-olds driving my little red Fiat around. Did you see my post with the little note? Little note. And I was reading it like, you have a dope car. And I'm thinking, and then it's like, oh, dope Fiat boy. Oh boy, okay, this is not for me. She obviously is hitting on, good for her, hitting on one of those cute boys. They're very sweet.
That's very cute. Well, we'll make sure to post a link. Not that anyone who's watching needs a link, but we'll make sure to post a link and encourage everyone to, visit La Strada and get your Italian food fix while you can.
Thank you.
And gosh, Lisa, I sure hope that you start a blog or a YouTube page, or, I definitely want to encourage you to keep writing and telling your stories and mentoring, mentoring young people and mentoring people in the restaurant industry. I think that is invaluable, and encouraging people to be involved in the community. Also just super invaluable. Creating community is what we should all be doing.
Yeah, and I really believe in asking the universe for signs. Like I used to be so, so afraid to close. Like I would miss the mentoring part so much, probably more than anything, because that's been my favorite part. But now I just put that out there, like, and there'll be something else that's going to come up that I'll be able to do. I don't know what it is yet, but
Keri,
I got a fire truck going by.
There, I muted you, Keri.
So I'm hoping that there'll be something if I'm open to it. I know there will be some other way that I can help people or help kids or something. So, and I do want to get a blog going, but every time I've looked in them, you can't get the discussion going like you can on Facebook. Like to make a comment, you have to enter your email address, and a lot of people might not want to do that. I've got to find the right platform. If anybody's out there who's technical, contact me and help me with it. I'd love to figure out a way to do it.
I have a feeling you'll be able to find quite a few people to help you out with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Lisa. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lisa.
So good to see you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Take care.
Yeah,
right,
you too. Lisa. Okay, bye.
And Keri, we're pretty much like out of time. We couldn't say goodbye to Lisa because she's too awesome. We needed to hear everything. And I mean, honestly, I could keep talking for another hour.
Seriously, we're going to have to continue this chat at a safe, social, physical distance with Lisa in person sometime. We're going to definitely be going by La Strada for some food.
We'll have some sexy music. Actually, I'm looking forward to going out to dinner and drinks with her, not where she works.
I'm sure she would probably...
I'm sure she would love that, yeah.
She would enjoy the break for sure. Thanks, everybody, so much for tuning in.
Watching. Next week, Lisa McHenry from Knock Knock Toys in Seal Beach. So please come back. Same place, same time, 5:30 every Wednesday.
Bye, guys. See you next time.
Bye, Keri.
Bye, Heather.
Love you.
Love you too.